right, thanks for stopping back in. I'm going to continue to work on this Crusader stick that I showed you on the last video, wearing my woodworking hat tonight. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start on this. I've rough sanded some of it. It'll be sanded again. I'm just getting the basic design on it, which will be, I use my wood carving knives to get into this. Let me see. These things are relatively, these sets are relatively inexpensive, and if you like to carve wood, I tell you what, they're great. It's just, you know, very sharp. But anyway, I usually don't make a very long video, but I'm going to tonight. People can watch it if they wish to, or not if they don't want to. So I'm going to put on my glasses here. Let's see. As I told you, this is in the video if you want to go back and watch it. This is gonna be a Crusader helmet. So I'll go back probably and sand, or maybe I'll carve on this tonight, the top of it, top of the helmet. I'm debating. Of course, it's not going to be an exact helmet, so anyway. So I'm just going to do some rough, because I want to make it, because it's a stick, you know, it's not going to be exact, but I'm using the old helmet design, the old Crusader helmet design, to do this walking stick. And you see, I'm going to put some eye holes in there, and that'll hopefully, and I may change this around, but you gotta start somewhere, you know. So I'll put that on there, and I may have to look at my pictures. What do we got there? Oh yeah, that was just, it wasn't very. Let's see, the bottom of the helmet would be, we're going to put it down here. We're going to put it down here. So it's a walking stick, you know, it's not a It's not a nuclear silo design, so it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be exact, right? I'm just putting, with my pencil, just putting some lines on there. Too bad you can't play music on this damn thing without getting sued. But anyway, we'll use this one to get started. Love these things, I tell you though. These carving tools. There were plenty of times in the Army, if there was downtime and I was in a wooded area, carve things out of. I remember I carved probably still got it, I think it was I might have been in the Middle East when I did that. Probably was in Desert Storm. I carved something in a tent peg. And those army tent pegs, wooden ones, I think were made out of oak. That was one hard piece of wood. I think I still got that thing around here somewhere. I carved a woman out of a tent peg, and I bet I still got it. It wasn't that, you know, if you're familiar with army tent pegs, it wasn't that big, but use my Leathermans. As you know, army is, there's a lot of times, a lot of hours of boredom. You know, especially in combat arms, strangely enough. If you're in a area where you don't have to go out for a few hours, or you don't want to sit around and think. So, like for me, I would either draw, which I usually did, or if there was wood, I would carve something. And in the Middle East, there wasn't wood, so I carved up a tent peg. That's one reason I wanted to carve this oak while it's green, because it's yeah, it will crack, as I said. If you want to watch that other video, you can check on my reasons for working green wood. I usually don't. I mean, not if I'm making a walking stick. But I'd rather carve this oak while it's green, because I hate doing this in the house because I gotta clean it up. This is my office, but clean it up before my wife sees it. Yeah. See, getting the outline. I don't even know what all I'm going to put on here. I showed you in the last video, I showed you the drawing, but the drawing doesn't show everything I'm going to put on here. I have no idea. But the stick here, I plan on really going all out on it. It will take me I'll probably be adding things to it for years, to tell you the truth. You know, because a stick like this, I can leave to somebody, and it'll last their lifetime. You know, if they care about it. There's a oak like this. It'll last literally hundreds of years if it's taken care of, if somebody really wants it. So you just have to find somebody to give it to who will take care of it that long. You know, if you're going to work on something that you wish to leave. You know, to me, stuff like this is more important than anything. I mean, I would have, even if my father would have left something, I would have kept it, and we were definitely not to. You know, I would have taken care of it out of respect. But something like this, you know, means more than well, if you're not a materialist. You know, if you have a heart or a soul, something like this means more than money. And if you don't, then I don't care what I leave you. You know. If you care more about money than sentimental value, I don't want to leave you anything anyway. But as you can see, we're starting to work on the shape. I don't know if you can see that. I see the little eyes. And I will sand off. I think I'm going to leave, because this is oak, this bark will adhere to the stick for years now. Some trees won't, that bark will fall off. This will, a lot of places, this bark will stay. So what I'm thinking about doing, and I may not, but I'm thinking about sanding off large areas of this and putting designs in there. You know, putting designs in there. Okay, what did I do with my pencil? So, see, this thing is, things like this are work. You know, that's why a lot of people, they want you to just give things away, or they don't value things like this. Like I say, I do. I always have, even as a kid. My brother would make me something that meant more to me than somebody buying me anything, you know. My brother would make me swords, or I would wear those things out, you know. I would keep them until they just, because it meant more to me than anything else. So yeah, let's see. We're gonna do this. So this, what I plan to do right now, may change my mind later, but these, I'm going to darken these eyes in with my pencil, just to, so you can see it. On these helmets, they had, you can see these things like this. They were made out of bronze, or probably bronze. But in these areas where they spread out on the ends, there would be rivets, or yeah, rivets in areas like this. As you can, I don't know if you can see that, see those rivets. So what I plan to do, I'm just beginning here. So once I carve this out, sand off more stuff, I will cut into these and sculpt this out. And then what I plan to do is take little small bronze nails, and I'll drive them into these areas right here, so that it will stick out on the top here. These eyes, or these eye slits, will be carved in deep in there. And ultimately, when it's done, everything will be sanded. Everything will be sanded to a real fine finish, and then teak oiled, and ultimately, after it's sanded to a real fine finish, I'll put polyurethane over the top of that. That's what I plan to do. Now this has got, like I say, it's got a long way to go. And before I do any of that polyurethane or any of that teak oil, it'll have to be a year from now, so that this wood dries out. It's going to take, it takes green wood about a year to dry out, sometimes two. But it should, in this environment, it should Should dry out in about a year. And then I can put the teak oil and all that. But meanwhile, I'll carve out the designs and everything, and the stick will be completely ready for the teak oil and everything long before that. So I'm going to continue to work on this one, and then looking forward to the other stick, the other oak stick that I showed in the video yesterday, because it's got a really fine shape. And once I decide what I'm going to make out of that, that's going to make a prime stick. For sticks to leave forever to somebody, definitely hardwood, you know, or if you're going to do it, if you're going to get somebody something, you know, somebody that, you know, really cares about you, I think a good walking stick out of hardwood will last them their entire life, and they can pass it on to their kids. I think that means a lot. Most things you get for people, it's not going to last months, maybe years, or you know, but something like this that is forever useful. They've had walking sticks since before Jesus, so you know, they're not going to go away. They're still needed. So anyway, so I just wanted to show you the start of this. I'll work on it a little more. There's no point. I've made this video a few minutes long. I think you'd probably be bored while I'm deciding what else to put on here. So we'll cut this video, and what are we going to call this? What are we going to call this? We'll call this Crusader Stick 2, and then we'll number them after that. So you saw the first video yesterday. If not, you can check in on it. But we'll call this Crusader Stick 2 video, and then I'll just number them on after that. And if you care to check in, yeah, you can. And then also working on the other sticks, the dinosaur sticks, and the other one once I decide what to put on that. So anyway, thank you for stopping in. We'll see you next time.